showtime here on the YouTube channel. I am back for day 4 of the 5-Star Grand Prix 2024 review series that I am doing here on this channel. If you've joined me for the first 3, you know how this goes. We break down every single tournament match on each show, give my thoughts, give MVPs. We'll show you kind of the match ratings I've put together, and we'll show you who's winning the MVP race so far. And we're going to get into scenarios because today's show had a lot going on. And when I say a lot, I mean we have eliminations already from this tournament. Some people have already wrestled 4 of their 6 matches. Besides that, we also have possibilities moving forward. We have title matches being announced. So with all that, I'm excited. I'm ready to lock in. Of course, I am your host, Scott Edwards, if you didn't know that already. Thank you, everyone who has been listening along with this series. It's been a lot of fun. I try to get these up as soon as possible every day. I'm really proud of what we've created so far on this channel with 3. And, you know, we're going to keep going forward more and more. So, before we get to the show itself, I ask you to, if you haven't, press subscribe. Make sure you're part of the fun here because I love doing these. I love talking to the people. Hopefully, you're all enjoying that as well. So that's when I ask, can you also press the like button, and leave a comment, because I would love to know what your thoughts are on the tournament so far. Now that we're through 4 days and certain people have been eliminated, I'd also love to know how you enjoyed this show specifically and just overall thoughts on the review. That's always cool with me. But we are here at Korakuen Hall today. Korakuen Hall, of course, usually brings the best, if not one of the best, tournament shows each and every 5-star. Oftentimes, it's the opening night, Korakuen, and the final night. Those are the days you look forward to the most when the 5-star Grand Prix schedule comes out. Could this Korakuen live up to the hype? Over 1,400 in attendance here on a Thursday night. That's beautiful. You love to see that. Great news, obviously, for Stardom. People are going to see the tournament. That's what you want to see. But there's a lot to talk about today. I am so confused. If you made your predictions based on anything I've said in any of my podcasts, I am sorry. Little did I know that the most easy and predictable story is not the way we are going. And we are going to get into that because we could be going 7 different ways at this point. I don't really know. I think I like it. Like, predictable can be both a good thing and a bad thing. I think predictable most of the time in pro wrestling is a good thing. But we are not predictable this year. We are in a different realm. But there's a lot of fun to talk about, so let's get to it. We're going to get right into the show here today. Like I said, 12 matches to review, some of them a lot shorter than others, so let's get to it, shall we? So, of course, the opening match of the show was Tam Nakano versus Azumi, and when I saw this as the first match on the show, I said to myself, okay, you're starting the show off hot. That's good. That's cool. Because the beautiful story, I think, moving forward in this tournament is the story of Tam and overcoming the knee injury and, fighting her way back into this tournament. Yeah, that was, of course, until the match ended, and I was left absolutely befuddled. I was like, that is not the way we're going. So, let's get into it, shall we? So obviously this match opened the show. Never a bad choice to open the show with Azumi. I think her style fits a show opener. Gets the crowd into it, and the crowd was into it for this match. I think the Korakuen crowd is a little bit wavy. And when I say wavy, I mean, like, I expected them to be into it a little bit more on the show overall. But when it came to the big matches and big moments and the people they liked, they were loud. And this match was one of them. So this was a really good competitive match. Tam has been killing it in this tournament. Azumi's been really solid as well. Funny enough, if I was to look at the entire field of the Red Stars B block, and by the way, starting with Red Stars B, never a bad thing is either. If I was to look at the Red Stars B lineup, I think Azumi and like Inaba are technically the lowest in the block in terms of my like averages, but bear with me, they would be the highest in every other block except for one, and they would be, and I think Azumi would be, yeah, it would be like neck and neck. That's how close this is. Like that's how great this block is. So you get into this match, and Tam is forced to kind of go and wrestle the high speed style, right? There's a desperation to her game. She needs to get back into this. And Azumi's just been killing it, right? She hasn't lost the match straight up yet, which is, great for her. Obviously, she has been absolutely killing it. She's got 2 draws to her name as well as 2 wins. One win being over Momo Watanabe, which was a big one, and now a win over Tam. She would hit the Destroyer, followed by the Azumi Sushi to get the pin and effectively eliminate Tam from the tournament. I I sat there in shock because like I'm just thinking to myself like why I don't get it. Okay, like, and I understand there's a follow up to this which we'll get to, but like I don't understand the mindset behind eliminating the favorite after 3 matches. I just don't get it. Like the fun of a tournament, and I don't know if anyone feels this way, but the fun of a tournament is the final night and the mathematics and watching someone kind of fight back. And I'll be honest, when it came to the Red Stars B, I kind of just predicted, oh, Momo and Tam would get through because that's a classic booking style of the 5-star previously. I need to get with the system. It is not previous 5 stars. Clearly, Tam would never be eliminated after 3 matches in previous regimes. Tam is the face of the company, right? Like Tam is the Naito. I've said this, and when it comes to the Naito, right? Stardom is in a interesting period right now. So I say to myself, what did New Japan do? They turned to Naito when, a lot of change happened. So what would they do with Tam? They'll turn to Tam. Well, they kind of are, but kind of aren't. They aren't because she is not winning the 5-star Grand Prix. She is done at the end of the night. She would be officially eliminated unless like she could get a tie in points somehow, but it takes a lot, and she'd still never be high enough to be a top 2 seed. So she's eliminated. This match was, like I said, really, really good. Probably the 4th best match on this show for me, but it's hard to even think about the match because of what happened after, which was Natsuko Tora came to the ring and nominated Tam as the next World of Stardom challenger. And I was like, whoa. So timeout. She lost 3 matches and is now challenging for the world title after saying she needed to win the 5-star to get to the world. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing here, but there's a real possibility that Tam Nakano is beating Natsuko Tora in the title match. There's a real possibility of that. And that changes a lot. It, to me, presents 2 very obvious winners, which we'll talk about as we go along here. But for this match, really, really good. Definitely what you want to start a Korakuen Hall show. Next up, we had Thekla versus Ranna Yagami. This match was nothing. It was fine. It was really quick. Like, when I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but like when I'm watching these tournament matches, I'm wondering, like, okay, how are these 2 going to click, and how much time are they going to get? And I look at this match, and I'm like, okay, the first match was longer, and we have 12 matches on this show, so I'm sure this will be short. Yeah, it was 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Like it was to have Thekla win. That's what this match was. It was fine. No one looked bad. It just happened. That's it. Like there was no real takeaways from this match, and we have a few of those because we had some quick ones here tonight, folks. We had some quick ones. Speaking of quick ones, next up was Koguma versus Miyu Amasaki. They did the they did the Kuma thing, that's what they did, and then Koguma rolled her up and won. And that's how the match ended. It was 49 seconds. Koguma gets her first 2 points of the tournament. So yeah, that was it. That's my review. Like, it was fine. I love the surprise, like, instant roll up sub 1 minute. I think they're great. But my only problem is that they did 2 on the same show, which we'll get to. So this one was the better one because it came first and it was a good pop. Like, crowd was hot for it. Crowd loved doing the Kuma poses, and then she won. Miyu Amasaki has wrestled a total of 3 minutes and 4 seconds in this tournament. 3 minutes and 4 seconds. 2 matches. Insane. Anyways, we move on. Next up was Iida versus Tomoka Inaba. This match rocked. It was great. Third best match on the show for me. Really the best match on the show for most of it. Listen, Iida's an MVP contender, baby. She's been awesome. 3 matches, 3 hits, and the crowd freaking loves her. They were so loud for Iida in this match. So loud for Iida. You could hear the Iida, like, it was some of the loudest reactions on the entire show. Maybe the loudest, truthfully. They are so into Iida right now. I'm so into Iida right now. She's so exciting. She's fitting that role that you kind of see, like, I don't know, like Hiroki Goto do in the G1 for years and years and years, where she just goes in there and has solid to great matches. Maybe for most fans, like the Ishii role even. But I feel like the Goto comp's kind of good because I don't know if he is ever going to win the world title, but damn it, she puts in great performances, I think she has just continued to elevate herself, and the same goes for Tomoka. These two had the perfect match. Kick versus chop. This unbelievable power and explosiveness that Iida displays in every single one of her matches is so exciting. It makes her one of the best wrestlers in the company right now. Like, plain and simple. This isn't, there are main eventers that are not as good as Iida right now. There isn't. It's just the truth. There's heavily pushed people in this company that are not coming close to the performances of Iida. She's been that great. This match was great. It really was. I really loved this match. I'm so invested in what Iida's doing. I think Tomoka has been amazing. I really do. Like, I think she's been amazing in this tournament, and she is now someone that might get out of the Bread Stars B block, which is very exciting. She got the win, 7 minutes and 18 seconds. They didn't overstay their welcome. They had their destination, and it delivered. This is the perfect middle of the card match for a 5-star. It hits its potential without going too long, maximizes its minutes, and brings excitement out of the crowd. This is exactly what you look for. Inaba gets the win with the running stop kick, or whatever the hell it's called, which is a great move, by the way. Love that move. Absolutely just exactly what I wanted this match to be. No complaints whatsoever. Iida continues to roll, win or lose. And then we had Natsupoi versus Ruaka. I don't have a lot of thoughts about this match. Like, that's kind of my takeaway with Ruaka matches. I thought this was pretty good. It went 8 minutes and 58 seconds. Ruaka has put a ton of time in during this tournament, which is pretty crazy to think about, but it's the truth. I think she's top 10 at least in time in this tournament. I know she's had 4 matches now, but that includes a 15-minute time limit draw, so this was better than the draw. This was also better than the Suzuki match by a little bit. I think, they broke up the hate matches really well on this show. It wasn't constant. right? So you could kind of separate them, and there was no Sayakamatani tournament match, which was kind of nice. No offense to her, but just the way it feels right now. And Ruaka does this. She knows her role. You had Natsupoi hit a great release German on Ruaka that got a big crowd pop, and then she once again won with the armbar, which she has made her finish in this turn. It's such a random thing that I don't know why we're doing it. I'm still waiting for that great, like, capital Great great Natsupoi match in this tournament, because I thought her, if you listen to my day one review, I thought her match with Maika was a little underwhelming for my expectations. And I think the match with Yuna Mizumori has actually been her best. This was fine. Got the job done, like I said, had the hate cheating, so takes a little away. But in the end, Natsupoi won as she should. And I will give you this. If the super babyface is able to overcome the shenanigans and the hate of it all, that's fine. That makes the match better. And that's what happened here. So a fine match as Natsupoi gets 2 more points in the tournament. Yeah, that's it. Then we had Saki Kashima versus Hanan. This match lasted 20 seconds. We got the what's the word? The traditional, the annual Saki Kashima shock win in second over a potential favorite, and that unfortunately had to be Hanan. She won in 20 seconds, and this is where I said, like, it's really fun to have these matches happen in Korakuen. I wouldn't have done 2 on the same night, like, that's it's it's a conversation of, you know, when you plan out matches, when you schedule matches, like, you don't want to do the same thing twice in the same night, let alone the same exact type of match, which is a quick sub 1 minute roll up win. But that is what they did. That is Saki Kashima's role. You could have done that with Koguma on any other night, but they did it on this night. And the only difference is Saki Kashima be obviously like the bigger name, but the other one happened first, so like it excited me more, like, type thing. It's like it, Saki Kashima is not in this tournament to wrestle. We have learned that very quickly. She is in the classic Toru Yano type role, and she's got the sign, which pops me. I won't lie. But it's just like that's the basic reason she's here. And when you kind of copy the basic reason she's here early in the night, takes a little bit away from it. That being said, still pop the crowd, so that's worth it. But yeah, I mean, to review a 20-second match, I already have talked longer than the match itself. So let's move on. Now we kicked it up a little bit here. We kicked it back a little bit here. We had Unimon versus Manami. Unimon's been putting on solid performances, so is Manami, and I thought this was solid. This is the first time we got to hear Manami's theme song in Stardom, which was great. Just brings the atmosphere up. It's such a great song. And like I said, I keep saying this on these recordings, Unimon is going to put in performances that you remember. Like, it's what she does. It's her entire purpose. She's not going to go out there and win, maybe at all. Then there's potential she gets one, maybe shock win, but she's not going to go out there and put all. She's going to have a 5 to 10 minute match, probably never really hitting that 10, and it's going to be solid. That is what she's here for. And this was another one, probably the weakest of the bunch. Obviously, she had Maika and Poi the first 2 days, so like I just think those worked a little bit better. But this did its job. Like I said, this was a fine to exciting 5-minute fight between these two, with Manami getting 2 more points with her dive. So it's harmless in the end. Like, you go into this match and you don't expect a lot, and I got exactly what I expected here, so no complaints from me. You get the big Unimon lyrics, and that's it. The problem with, like, the middle of this review is everything was so quick, and it's like there's not much to sink your teeth into. I would prefer. So it's like it's weird for me to talk about in that way, but it's just how it is. So moving on. Then we had Syuri and Anna Jay, and I looked at this match for Anna Jay. I said, okay, this feels like the big match for her, right? You are wrestling one of the best in the world in Syuri. She is such a star, man. She is so good. She isn't she's cut from a different cloth, and when I say that it's a good way. Like she comes in from that Kana Risa Nakajima feel rather than say the typical top stardom wrestler like a Mayu or an EO. But she's so special, man, and it's what sets her apart in these tournaments. And I'm just watching her entrance and getting into the song because her song's great. I'm just like, man, she is such a star. There's no reason that we shouldn't be just having her win. Like she's she's the best. She's the best. And I looked at this match for Anna Jay and I said, okay, this is your prove it match. Like if you can have a good to great match here, you're making the strides that are necessary, right? She got 2 matches under her belt, and I was like, okay, this is good. This is what we want to see. And I went into this match with high hopes, and ultimately it was just another 5-minute match for Anna Jay. She's wrestling a simple, structured match that's neither good nor bad. It's fine. She hasn't changed as like the first 2 look good, like the Anna Jay Seriano match with a blessing in disguise, and now for me we're getting into kind of the same returns. Last match was about the leg, and this match was more about the Seriano run here, and she's not having bad performances, which is a good thing, obviously. But I don't know if she's necessarily getting the chance to fully learn. Like when Mariah May came in, obviously she had months and months and months before the 5-star, but she was having longer matches. And Anna Jay is not going to get better with 5-minute matches. It's just not going to happen. She's going to get better being around these great, great talents and getting in the ring with them and talking shop. Like that's just going to happen. But in terms of the match and seeing it, right? And seeing the changes, I don't think we're going to really see that through this tournament if she's going to keep having 5-minute matches. Because this again was the big one. This is the put up or shut up type one. And I don't really blame her for it. It was just a simple match. She ended up tapping out in the end. And listen, the most important part of this match is that Syuri won. Syuri won. Syuri's a star. Syuri's the best, one of the best I've ever seen. She should not be losing this match. So that was the good part. But for anyone that watches the reviews and wants to hear about Anna Jay and how she's doing, it's fine. She's doing fine. I don't think she's totally changed. I liked her first 2 matches, but here was when she had to make the big step up, and ultimately it was just more of the same. So it's fine. It's cool. I still think she probably goes back to AEW a better wrestler overall. She hasn't had a bad match though, so that's a win. That is a win. She hasn't had a bad match, and I think that's a good sense. And Syuri continues to roll on here, getting to her 4 points now, her second win. Like I said, Syuri is the best, and we need more Syuri. Absolutely killing it. She feels like she's still not only in her prime, but ready for another big run. Like that is what I see. Syuri feels new almost in a good way. Just with the gear and the look, and obviously God's Eye has changed crazy. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's next for Syuri, but I hope it's something great because she deserves it to be something great. Absolutely rooting for her at all times. Then we have Maika and Konami, and this match was where we kicked off into the 4 big matches of the show. And I said to myself, okay, I need this to be good, please, because I don't think Maika's tournament's been anything special yet, and it's worrisome because she had the match with Natsupoi, and that felt like the one, and she had a solid match with Unimon, which, spoiler alert, I still think is her best match. This one was slow. This one was a slow match. Like the actual action in the ring was slow. It only went 7 minutes and 38 seconds, but the match itself was kind of slow. It was good. Like the work was good, but with Konami matches, they do fall apart for me in this gimmick. It's the same end every time, right? It's get the face paint and or not face paint. It's not face paint. It's a spray bottle and try to spray your opponent and then hit the knee. Like that is the match. That is what we do every single time. And after a while, it adds up. Now, the match gets a plus because Maika was able to overcome it. But it was another roll-up win for Maika. It's her second of the tournament. So many roll-ups. It's fine, but like Maika's your former World of Stardom champion. She can win with the Michinoku driver and pin her in the middle of the ring. We don't need roll-ups all the time. I like definitive wins, and she could have had the definitive win over Konami. Maika's well on her way to getting out of Red Stars A, which we all expected. Remains to be seen if Konami does the same. But this was, like I said, a fine match win, and then Konami chased Maika around the Korakuen. So if you can't tell, I'm getting a little tired of the hate match. Little tired of it. It rubbed off a little bit in the Momo match today. Not too bad though, because the action was so good, which we'll talk about. But the Konami Ruaka diminishing returns, it's the same way they finish. Ruaka goes and uses the box. Konami uses the spray bottle, and Momo uses the bat, and Momo with the bat, she hasn't really used it so far in this tournament, and I think her story of the tournament is far more interesting. So each match is far more interesting, but you get the point. This match was fine. Again, not great, but not bad. Fine, if not, it is what it is. And then we had Suzuki and Risa Sera, and I looked at this match and I said, okay, Blue Stars B, we need this. This match we need to be great, because for me, I don't know if anyone else feels this way, it's been lackluster, as you know. I don't think that's just me alone. I've said it every single show, and I was like, okay, let me look at the rest of the schedule, right? What matches stand out that could be great? Suzuki and Risa Sera was at the top of that list, right? Because I thought Sayori and Syuri was good, but definitely lacked in what they could have done in, say, this. If they did that match at Korakuen, could have been great. Oh wait, that's the wrong block. So no, when Blue Stars B, I looked at Hanan and Suzuki as that, and that went to a double count out, which sucked the life out of me. And then Saya Kamatani's matches have not been good at all, and she's still learning her heel role, and it's been two tough opponents to really do that against. But you look at this tournament, and it's like, you look at this block, there's not really many more matches. Like the next one of hope for me that could be good, or is going to be both Saya Kamatani matches against Suzu and Hanan, right? Because those two are legitimate baby faces against Saya. That is your best shot for a great match in this block. But otherwise, this block remains the weakest in the tournament by far. We'll get to the ratings in a little bit, but boy, oh boy, has it been rough. It's just been a rough go. But it is what it is. This match was good. It had hard strikes, good back and forths. Risa Sera uses the ARA crash to perfection most of the time. But, like Risa hasn't looked great, and this week she went to the hospital. She out of precaution, and she's fine, but it's been a rough year for Risa, and I am concerned about her. I don't know what's going on. I don't, she went to the hospital earlier this year because of a concussion, which was really scary. I don't want to assume anything, but this is not the Risa Sera I remember. like even from the tag title match between Crazy Star and Prominence, which was Risa Sera and Kurumi Hiragi earlier this year, that was a great version of Risa Sera. I don't think she's clicking as much in this tournament as I want her to. I think the match with Hanan was fine, but had that weird moment. Obviously, the day after where she checked in, it's like maybe she wasn't feeling real well. And then this match was the best she's had so far, I think, without a doubt, because it had the strikes, it had the offense. But even so, it just wasn't what these two are very much capable of and have done in the past against each other. I know it's not a death match, but I know that these two can have a great match. And I watched Suzu, and I remember last year when the conversations about Suzu winning the 5-star, I believed in Suzu, and I thought she was doing great work and having great matches. She has not found it yet since coming back from injury, and rust is natural. But as a singles competitor this year, it just hasn't been the same for her. As a tag competitor, she's been awesome. Obviously, Crazy Star is fantastic. But as a single star, she just doesn't, she's missing something. Like maybe she's missing that grittiness that was a signature for Suzuki. Like maybe that's it. I'm really not sure what's missing, but this isn't the Suzuki that, became one of my favorites in the world. And I'm hoping we can find it because I know it's in there. She's a superstar. She's someone that, should have been World of Stardom champion at one point already. Get me back there. I'm not even asking to get back to 2 years ago where she was the talk of Joshi. Just get me back to last year with her. As a singles competitor, as a tag competitor, like I said, great. But this match was solid. Risa Sera won when she hit the air grade crash and did a flash type pin to shockingly get the win over Suzu. So a good match, just not to the level that I know that they can go. Now, talking about the level that I know they can go, my match of the night was this one. I know it'll come as a shock. Mayu main evented against Momo Watanabe. My favorite combo in Stardom, has been for years. But this match, man, like this is what it's all about. This is why I love the 5-star Grand Prix still. Like things can change as much as they want, and things can be unpredictable and sometimes not make sense when it comes to certain booking decisions, whatever. This is the type of wrestling I want to see. This was so much better than their title match earlier this year because Starlight Kid as a babyface is money. It is everything. And I watch her performances so far through this tournament. The Syuri match was great, obviously. This match, I think this is my second favorite match of the entire tournament. That's how much I like this match. This match was a perfect 15-minute time limit draw. You have the desperate Sayori Ano, who is trying to get back on track after losing the Wonder Stardom title not once but twice over the past few months, right? She's trying to find it. She's trying to get to that end of the 5-star. And you have the underdog babyface Starlight Kid who keeps fighting and wants to reach the potential that so many believe in her, including herself, right? She is the Neo Genesis leader and she wants to lead by example. This match had it all. The legwork on Starlight Kid was exceptional. Like fantastically done. Some of the dragon screws were nasty, but Kid keeps fighting back. Kid's a superstar, right? Kid's incredible. You have the figure 4, the desperation. I'm watching Kid. Listen, it's hard to emote when you got a mask on, but she's so good at it. You can see her emotion. You can feel her emotion. She learned that from Mayu. I remember the Mayu versus Starlight Kid match from 2 years ago on the final night of the 5-star when she put in the leg breaker and Mayu was looking like she was out of it before just getting to the ropes. This felt like that when she was in that figure 4. You felt that desperation. You felt, no, I can't lose this match. I cannot lose this match. And she gets to the bottom row. Well, actually, she turns Sayori over first before Syuri turned her back over, then gets to the bottom rope. And then they just go all out. Suplex here, suplex there, suplex everywhere. Like these two were throwing each other on top of each other's heads time and time and time and time again. You get Sayori getting the pottering, but an incredible great kick out. She didn't get the full, I don't think she got the feet. When she usually puts the feet on the legs of whoever she's pinning, she didn't get it this time. And that's why Kid kicks out and the crowd's going crazy. Kid looks like she's about to finish it. She hits the tombstone, her tombstone variation, the black tiger driver, I think it's called. She hits that, and it's like, oh my god, she's gonna win. She's gonna win. She's gonna win. The black tiger driver. I was correct. She hits that. Great hesitation, right? She's like, oh, I can fight through the knee. I can fight through the knee. Plants Sayori, sets her up for the moonsault, hits the moonsault, and as she's getting the pin, the time expires. And I'm like, no, keep going. Like, bravo. This was a great, great match. Fitting of Korakuen Hall. Like I said, second best match in the tournament for me. This is what it's all about. It's going to be tough to beat over on the Blue Star side of things. I think this was exceptional. Exactly what I was hoping for. And these two remain two of the favorites. They are now tied in points at 3 apiece. So we'll see how it goes. These two had, they had this great moment. It's like, we're going to come back to this. This is the second time we've had this match this year. This is not over. This is kind of becoming a low-key rivalry that I'm really enjoying. So, really great match here. If you're picking and choosing what you watch from the 5-star shows, make sure you watch this one. And then we had the main event, Mayu Iwatani, her third main event already of the tournament as the IWGP Women's Champion, going one-on-one with longtime rival Momo Watanabe. Obviously, this was great. Like, come on. This is Mayu's tournament, man. Like, she is making everyone look second rate at times because that's how good she is. She's just on another freaking level. She has been every opportunity she's had this year. And they're riding the story. They're going with the story. She's undefeated in singles action this year. She has not lost a match one-on-one. And now she's 3-0 in this tournament. She defeats Momo Watanabe, but let's get to the match itself, right? You have Momo attacking before the bell, right? Desperation has kicked in. She's already 0-3. She loses the match. She's out. Guaranteed. Done. See you later. And she attacks, and you have some moments with Hate early on and later, trying to help Momo get off Schneid, keep herself alive, but Mayu keeps fighting back. Mayu hits her incredible tope suicida that she always hits. And once they get in the ring, Momo's working the leg of Mayu really, really well, trying to weaken her. But the turning point was one of the best super kicks I've ever seen Mayu Iwatani hit, when she absolutely dropped Momo to change the tides of this match. These two just work so seamlessly together. The chemistry has been and will always be off the charts between these two. They are just on another level when they go against each other, man. Like, it's not fair. They always hit. They always deliver. And this was another case of that. Hot main event, crowd's going crazy. Momo looks like she's wrapping it up 1 or 2 times. She just can't get it done. Hitting the meteoras, hitting the suplexes, absolutely turns Mayu inside out with one of them. But Mayu keeps fighting back. Mayu hits the tombstone, followed by the moonsault. You can't get it done. Momo has to go to the bat, right? She needs to use the bat because she can't win any other way. The tournament's not working for her. This is the story that I love about Momo's compared to the other hates, because listen, the other hates, like, whatever. This is her story. Momo's in desperation mode. Momo is an established star in this company. She needs to use this bat, and she whiffs on the bat. The bat goes flying, but they keep wrestling, but the bat's still in the ring. And this brings us to later in the match when Mayu grabs the bat, smashes Momo in the face with it to survive, hits the greatest poison Ranna ever, and gets the pin. When she goes, she does the backwards thing and plants Momo on her head. She did it 2 years ago when she beat. Was it 2 years ago when she beat Momo? Maybe not. I don't know. When she did it, she's done it. Yeah, I think it was in the IWGP title tournament. Did they face? Maybe, I think it was. but she pinned her in the middle of the ring. Mayu's just another world, man. I call her the greatest of all time because she is the greatest of all time. I don't just say it, I mean it. She is my favorite wrestler of all time. If you want to give Mayu Iwatani the 5-star Grand Prix this year, I'm not going to complain, just so you know. So if you're going to do that, give it to her. Go ahead. Keep having her go undefeated. Have her run the whole thing. I'm not going to complain. She said if she can't win, she's done. Okay, sure. Then have her win it. Why not? Right now, to me, there are 4 winners, 4 potential winners. I think Maika's still very much in the running, obviously. I think Saya Kamatani has boosted up the ranks because of Tam being eliminated. Because if Tam wins that World of Stardom title, that's the obvious match. Or, of course, Mayu, because Mayu versus Natsuko, Mayu versus Tam in a double title match at Sumo Hall makes a lot of sense as well. And then, of course, Starlight Kid. I'm not counting her out. I refuse to count her out. Who was kicked out of who is the start of this Oedo Tai change? It was her getting kicked out at Grand Queen. Right? It started all the way back there. I'm not ruling her out. She deserves the super push. I wouldn't question it at all. So that's where we're at in this tournament. If you're looking for matches to watch, like I said, the last 2 were great. I legitimately think Starlight Kid and Sayori was the second best match in this tournament, and this was a top 5 match as well. It's been really, really great. This was a long show, another long 12-card show. I think from here on out, besides the last day of block play, is just singular days. So we'll have shorter shows moving forward. But this was great. So thank you to everyone who listened to the review. Let's get to the averages here, and let's take a look at who's the MVPs right now. So, as you see, we still have the updated sheet here right now. You see the match averages here. So far, the top Blue Stars match is now for me, Sayori Ano versus Starlight Kid. That brings Starlight Kid's average to a 3.58, which is the highest in the Blue Stars block. We still have everyone in Blue Stars B sub 3 stars, which is highly unfortunate. Hopefully that could change. But the Blue Stars A block is really putting it together, especially the big 3 here. I'm excited to see what Xena does against these 3. She hasn't faced any of them yet. Those could be some really great matches as well. And then you look at, of course, here at the Blue Star, the Red Stars B block, just absolutely crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. It's been an incredible tournament. Mayu Iwatani sits as the top MVP person with 4.08. Just 3 incredible matches so far. 3 very different matches so far. Momo Watanabe already through 4 matches. She's eliminated. She is at 0-4, but she's had a great run. Tam's had a great run as well. As is Iida. Iida is absolutely crushing it, like I said. And then, of course, we have the Red Stars A block, which has been a mixed bag early on. No one, only Yuna Mizumori is sitting at 3 so far in my averages, which is kind of funny. But I do think that Hazuki's going to get over that very quickly. This match with Konami just didn't work. This match with Ruaka, I believe, just didn't click. The match with Konami was good. So we'll see how that averages out. But let's look at one more stat sheet here, because I do want to show some stats that I have. So Peps, shout out to Peps for putting this together. If you want to see this sheet, there is a link in the description. You can check it out, follow along. Peps, I think, updates it after every show. So we have the amount of time here in the tournament with Azumi leading the field. Of course, Azumi has wrestled 4 matches, so not too much of a shock. She does have a time limit draw in there. So she's wrestled 4 matches, leading the time. Tomoka Inaba right behind her at 47 minutes and 6 seconds. Momo Watanabe also wrestled 4 matches with 46 minutes and 56 seconds. Sera has wrestled 3 matches and has the longest amount of time within those, which is very odd. I find that very odd, but it's the case. And Sera, of course, with 2 time limit draws, right up there as well. As you can see over here, we do have eliminations. Ruaka is eliminated from the tournament. Momo Watanabe and Tam Nakano are also eliminated from the tournament. In terms of potential winners, We already have some serious favorites so far. Obviously, Syuri is the favorite for Blue Stars A and has been since the start. I think her and Starlight Kid are the ones advancing still. We look at Blue Stars B. I think Saya Kawatani is a lock to advance. I still think one of these two get out, either Hanan or Suzuki, but I'm not too sure. When it comes to Red Stars B, who is going to be that second name? I think Mayu Iwatani obviously is a lock, right? She has steamrolled the competition. She has beaten Iida. She has beaten Tam Nakano, and she has beaten Momo Watanabe. She's 3 for 3 in great matches, 3 for 3 in her record. So it's a matter of who beats her, right? Or who goes forward with her. You look at Azumi, you look at Sera, you look at Tomoka Inaba. Those are who we're picking from. Inaba has been hot. She hasn't lost yet. Azumi's been hot. She hasn't lost yet. And Sera also hasn't lost yet. So it'll be interesting to see ultimately like what ends up happening, because I do think that there's a real probability that in the end, Azumi advances. I think it'll make a lot of sense, right? They're trying to push her. I think it makes a lot of sense. And then when we look at Red Stars A, yeah, we look at Red Stars A. Manami's in second. Manami's wrestled a lot of matches already. I look at Maika. I still look at Hazuki as the second, but Konami is obviously in the conversation as well after beating Hazuki. Probably going to be the tiebreaker in the end. So if I had to guess, it would be Maika and Konami. But this tournament is wide open. Mayu's the heavy favorite right now. Feels like a potential winner. I'm locked in though. I will say I like the unpredictability. It's a little bit too much for me because I'm like, well, Tam was just a layup. But at the same time, it's like, okay, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens. So that's all of that. We'll be looking at that stat sheet moving forward later on in the tournament. I'll be back on Saturday to talk day 5, which will be Blue Stars only. And then on Sunday will be day 6. So expect those over the weekend. Thank you everyone for listening. Like I said, comment, like, subscribe, be a part of this. Thank you everyone that's listened. If you want, check out the 5-Star Joshi show this week. It'll be up on Friday. I'll be talking the happenings in Marigold. I'll also be giving an update, including my top 5 matches for the 5-Star Grand Prix. So if you want to see those or hear those, I will be giving that list. We'll also be talking the many other things, including Sarism's new main event, Arisa Nakajima's final week of her pro wrestling career coming up, and so much more. So thank you for everyone for listening. I'll see you for day 5 review. But until then, see ya.